Okay, good evening. Welcome to this regular scheduled business meeting of the Summersville City Council on this 25th day of October 2021. At this time, I'd like to welcome our guests, and I'm going to change things up tonight. I'm going to be a maverick. I'm not going to go by the agenda. So yes, I'm going to break Robert's rules because the first thing I'd like to do is make a special presentation tonight. So the first thing I would like to do is ask Officer James Lane to come to the podium. And tonight, to me, is a pretty exciting night in the awards that I am distinguished in the honor of being able to give. I feel very distinguished in giving these awards. First thing I want to do is I want to highlight that Veterans Day is right around the corner, November 11th, and our County Veterans Day ceremonies will take place at the Nicholas County Veterans Memorial Park at 11 a.m. But this is all in the spirit of our veterans, celebrating our veterans, recognizing the importance of our veterans as we so appreciate their service, the sacrifices they and their families have made. So what I'd like to do is highlight what I would call a veteran and also active in the reserves. Before us tonight we have Officer James Lane, who was on active duty in the U.S. Navy from 2001 to 2010. He currently is serving in the reserves, and he's been doing so since 2014. His current rank is Petty Officer First Class, and of course, Officer James, we can't say enough to thank you for your active duty service, and then of course your commitment to protecting and defending not only this city by bearing our police uniform, but what you do for us with your reserve service through the Guard. So at this time, I'd like to also welcome to the podium our Chief, Jay Nowak, and Officer Major Tim Blake. And anyway, what I'd like to say is back in 2020, our department received an award on behalf of the Department of Justice that was called Above and Beyond Award, which is an award that they received for going above and beyond in their support of people in the military, specifically reserve duty. So tonight I get the honor of presenting a couple more awards, and of course all of these awards are we owe our thanks to Officer Lane, who feels that from an employment standpoint the City of Summersville Police Department goes above and beyond to support him when he has to make various changes to his schedules, and then of course he just feels without a doubt, without any reservation, there's a ton of support from leadership for his military service. So tonight I'm going to present both Chief Nowak and Major Tim Blake awards that are being presented from the Secretary of Defense, and it's called Employer Support of Guard and Reserve. Recognizes Jay Nowak and Tim Blake, Summersville Police Department, and this award is called Patriotic Employer for contributing to the national security and protecting liberty and freedom by supporting employees' participation in America's National Guard and Reserve Forces. So Timmy and Jay, congratulations. Officer Lane, thank you for your service. And it's exciting to me as the mayor of this city to be able to award these kind of awards to any organization that's attached or affiliated with the City of Summersville, let alone our police department. Jay and Tim, and then I'll let you give both of them these. And then if you guys don't care, why don't you stand here? I would ask council to gather in because we all support our military. Let's do the best we can. Push your chairs back. Everybody squeeze in behind them. And let's get a group photo because this recognizes all of our support of the U.S. military, both active and reserve.
Should be one good one in there.
Okay, thank you, guys. Okay. Moving right along, the next item on the agenda is consideration of the council minutes of the meeting we held on October 11th, 2021.
Move to approve and waive the reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and second. Council, are there any changes or amendments to those minutes as they appear in your packet? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Public comment? I don't believe we have any. Moving right along, also excitedly tonight, I get to introduce to all of you and all of our viewers it's the introduction of our new director of the Summersville Convention and Visitors Bureau. And at this time, I'd like to bring Tracy McCoy forward, and she's going to give a small introduction of herself.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I wanted to thank Mayor Schaefer and the entire City Council for inviting me to be here this evening to have the opportunity to introduce myself. As Mayor Schaefer said, I am Tracy McCoy. I'm the new Executive Director of the Summersville Convention and Visitors Bureau. As was asked before the meeting started, I'm not originally from West Virginia. I was born and raised in New York, Dutchess County specifically, which is about an hour and a half north of Manhattan. So, I'm not exactly a city girl, but New York is in my blood. But I'm really pleased, I'm really excited. I've lived here in West Virginia now for approximately 19 years. So I'm an outdoor girl. I have horses, so I fit right in down here. But I just want to say that I'm really excited to be in this position. I feel it's a real honor to have been selected by the board to fill this position. I'm really excited to see what I can do to fill this capacity for our county and for the city of Summersville. And with the pandemic that we've gone through, I'm really excited to see what we do in 2022 coming back from that. I think it's really exciting to see things to start picking back up again.
Okay, good deal. Tracy, welcome. And thanks for coming out tonight. And I guess at some point down the road, we'll look forward to an update after you get yourself orientated.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, council, the next item on the agenda is approval of the reinvestment of the Summersville Rainy Day Fund. So council, that fund currently sets with $1,087,000 and some change in it. And what I would ask you to do tonight is, I'm just going to run down, as we do, anytime we are investing money from the city, we use local banks. So we reached out to all 5 banks. I will tell you tonight that we look to reinvest the rainy day fund of $1,087,000 and some change with Community Trust for a 5-year CD. Which they came back with a rate of 0.75. I will tell you right now, we have that invested at Community Trust on a 2.0 rate. So that's addictive of the times. Just to run down the list of the other banks, both First Community, BB&T Truist came in at 0.05, and United Bank did not have a 5-year CD. They had a 3-year that was at 0.15. So tomorrow, after we get approval from you, we will be reinvesting the rainy day fund at at Community Trust for the 0.755 year. We also do stipulate, as we always have, that we can have access to those monies without penalty, and we still have that privilege with the reinvestment at Community Trust. So at this time, I would need a motion to reinvest the rainy day fund for 5 years at Community Trust.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second, and that is in a CD. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Recorder's report.
No report received.
Recorder has no report. Do you want to mention your meeting on the 29th?
I can.
Yeah, that would be good.
Sure. On the 29th, we did have a meeting with the planning and zoning. I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. We have received some help from Shay Strait. He's from the Fairmont area, and he did exactly what I thought he would do with the planning and zoning committee. He relayed it very well and was able to answer all their questions. We feel that, you know, on a track. We're going to meet again next month, and after that, we're looking at a possible January completion date, which would be looking at coming to the council. There's a lot of things that has to happen between now and then, but we're looking at probably the end of January. We may have this thing completed, wrapped up, and sending it to you with a bow on it. So that's what our plan is right now.
Okay, good deal. I didn't mean to.
No,
put you down. Actually, what I wanted you to do is tell them about the meeting. The next meeting is November 29th at 6 p.m. And frankly, what Shay is working on for the Planning Commission is an update that will really be ready for a good through, for everybody to thoroughly go through. And I'm going to kick that out, have that kicked out to all of you too. I would encourage you to dive into it. And when that is kicked out, you'll be kicked out Shay's information as well. So if you have questions, I encourage you beforehand to contact him. But that meeting on the 29th will be what I think probably one of the most significant meetings in the comprehensive plan to get the final product put on the shelf. So I would encourage all of you, if you can, to make that meeting, because ideally the next step would be after the Planning Commission on the 29th, they may need one more follow-up meeting in January, and then it'll be before this body for approval. So just wanted to kind of bring
6 p.m., right?
Yeah, 6 p.m. on the 29th. Yeah, that's a Monday. And the other thing too, that meeting will be available by Zoom if you want to participate by Zoom, which it works pretty, yes. Stevie caught the last one by Zoom, and we've got a really good setup, so that'll be available to you. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Gary.
No, you're good.
Okay,
No,
anything else? Moving right along, let me get to the mayor's report. Okay, I have several things I want to do. First of all, I want to tell you, today, talk about honors. I had the honor to go to a Summersville resident, and I just want to read the proclamation that I did today on behalf of the city. Whereas I, Robert L. Schaefer, Mayor of the City of Summersville, proudly representing its citizens, do hereby honor and cause for celebration of the 100th birthday of Nicholas County resident H.R. Dietz. Whereas we recognize Harold for his many life accomplishments, U.S. Army World War II veteran, and a lifetime entrepreneur leaving his footprints statewide. Whereas we celebrate this inspirational West Virginia native and his century of life that he is dedicated to family, friends, and the great state of West Virginia. So therefore, let it be proclaimed that the month of October in 2021 in the city of Summersville will be H.R. Dietz' 100th birthday celebration month. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Summersville to be affixed to this proclamation as we proudly celebrate H.R. Dietz' October 19th, 100th birthday on this 25th day of October 2021. Robert L. Schaefer, Mayor, City of the Summersville. I did get to go visit Mr. Dietz at the house today. He was with his wife Glenna. On behalf of the city, all of you, all of the citizens, I took the proclamation in a big basket of fruit. And Harold was much pleased and in good spirits, both him and Glenna. So got some pictures, and we'll be able to circulate them soon with me presenting the proclamation and the basket of fruit. But what a neat deal, and you know, what's just incredible, number one, to make it to 100. I told him I'd be back next year at 101, but again, we thank Harold for his many life contributions with his century of life to not only the city of Summersville, the county, but the great state of West Virginia. The other thing I want to do, council, is I want to give you an update about the auction that the Building Commission attended last Friday. We had a couple snags, but we made it through. Of course, as you well know, in executive session, we came out with approval for the city to move forward on potential purchase of a property. We did show up at the auction for the property at 433 Ashley Lane, and believe it or not, we were the only ones there. So when we showed up, we had made inquiry to the attorney that was out of state that was handling it, but we didn't get all the information because we were to bring a $9,000 certified check to even be able to bid, of which we did not have. So I immediately got a call, said we needed a check. I called City Hall, we started cutting the check, then I found out it had to be cash or certified. So I want total disclosure here. I walked across to the bank and on my personal account, took a $9,000 certified check out and ran to the courthouse because we had 15 minutes before the auction closed. And then basically what they do is close it and then reschedule and do it all over again. So they were down there waiting. I knew it would take, it'd be much more confusing to try to get a certified check across town at BB&T on the city's account. So I took a personal certified $9,000 check to the courthouse. Of course, with the check, then they could open the bid. The minimum bid for the 0.71 acres was $16,000. Actually, it was minimum. You had to bid $1 above. So the city bid $16,001 for the 2 lots in Terra. As you all remember, what you authorized was higher than that. So immediately with the $9,000 personal certified check, I conveyed to them at the auction that the property needed to be put in the name of the City of Summersville Building Commission, of which they did. And then immediately here at City Hall, they cut me back a check for the $9,000 that I gave in the certified check. So the city did purchase the property on the courthouse lawn, 433 Ashley Lane. We did this on behalf of the best interest of our citizens and those that live in that neighborhood that have been dealing with that mess for quite some time. So we are already going out for bids. The procurement policy for the city of Summersville is less than $25,000. We just have to secure 3 bids. We are currently seeking those 3 bids. We're trying to get bids from local contractors. We're securing those 3 bids, and if everything goes the way I think it will, we will hopefully have that house cleared and out of there before the end of the year. Then what we have is we have this lot that the City of Summersville Building Commission owns in Terra. Now, what I would recommend we do, because we don't need a dime more out of it than what we have in it, which would be the purchase of the property and the demolition. So then what I would recommend to you, I'm not asking, I'm just saying this now, and then we'll have to come back in a formal way and approve it. But what I would recommend to you all is that what we do is that when we have the full tab on exactly what we expend to clean the property up, we put out an opportunity for anybody interested at that price and what they have to do within a certain amount of time, and it'll all be, dates and everything. They have to bring a letter from a bank that they can close in 30 days. And then what we do, because we don't need to start a bidding war and make money on a property, we just want back what we have in it. What we do is anybody that brings a certified letter or a letter from the bank saying they can give the city back our money in 30 days in a 30-day closing, those names go in a hat and we draw. The winner gets the property. Again, I'm not asking you to approve that tonight. I'm asking you to think about that. What we need back out of it is what we have in it, and I certainly believe Just knowing the available property and the market in Summersville, that we shouldn't have any reservation at all. I don't have any reservation at all that we should be able to get back out of that property what we have in it. Of course, at what point in time, if we put it out for that and we don't, then we'll go to Plan B. But I still believe that, I think we should definitely be in and out of it for less than $26,000. And you're talking about a decent lot size in Terre for $26,000 that would basically be ready to build. So we did purchase the property. The other thing I want to do is, council, tomorrow there is a ribbon cutting ceremony at New River Health at 12 noon. And that's located at 315 Fairview Heights Road. They're going to open up, they're actually opening up a clinic for all ages, along with an urgent care. And then in closing, before we move to council reports, if there are any, just want to remind everybody that trick or treating and Safe Zone takes place Saturday, this Saturday, October 30th, 5 to 7 p.m. The chief has assured me that he has adequate security that'll be out in all wards, as well as the Safe Zone. So again, we're looking for another hopefully safe trick or treating. The other thing I would mention to people is, like anything else, respective of the health crisis, pandemic, I want to say post-pandemic someday, it's up to each individual if they want to participate. If you do, indicate by turning your porch light on you want to participate. If you don't, of course, keep the porch dark. That concludes the mayor's report, unless y'all have any questions. Okay. How about council reports or comments? Okay. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to move into executive session. And this would be for purposes by West Virginia state statute, for purposes of legal deliberative matters.
So
We have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. We'll give just a couple minutes for chambers to clear out.